Good afternoon, folks. Happy Friday. So last week I did a full hive inspection, and upon opening my hives, I discovered that my hives were honeybound. Well, at least one of them was honeybound. The other one's on its way to honeybound. So I did a quick intervention and added an additional box and some extra frames, took out 2 of the honey frames that were falling apart because the frames were so heavy, because it was on a deep box. And so today I'm doing just a mini hive inspection, and we're just about, I don't know, I think we're getting close to the end of swarm season. It comes with the being honeybound, so you gotta constantly be watching it. But anyway, so I am going to get in here today. I'm going to light my smoker. I've got some burlap in here. I've got a smoker pellet. And apparently, when I got honeybound last week and got honey all over the place, I made a little bit of a mess in my bucket. So I've got to clean some of these tools. I just was a little bit frustrated to find that they were honeybound last week. And I think I just packed everything up and put it away so I could get to the boat and enjoy the weekend. And so now I'm getting in here and realizing it's messier than I thought. I had gloves on, so I wasn't aware how messy it was. But again, it's the weekend. All right, so I'm just going to do this mini hive inspection, getting my smoker going. Everything is a sticky mess from all that honey last week that fell apart. So they were still honeybound in the deep frame. You know, usually they have a lot of brood on the deep frame and then they store some honey on the outside. It's fine. But it was completely jam-packed with honey because they ran out of room, which means the queen ran out of room. So I added that extra box last week, and normally you put your supers on top. I had an extra super. I put it on the bottom here, above this other brood chamber. I put it here, and then I put the honeybound deep here. Because I wanted them, the queen, to have room to lay. I didn't have another deep box, so I just gave her a super, which is totally fine. And so let's see what we have going on. I'm not going to do that deep hive inspection. I'm just going to kind of pull things apart, see what's going on, and if there's any honeybound issue, I'm going to mitigate that. I have an extra box here. I'm hoping I can do a split with this if I see the queen, only if I see the queen. I'm hoping to do a split with this box so that I can have a third box and free up some of the congestion of the bees in this box here so they don't swarm. So let's get in here, see what's going on. Give them a little bit of smoke. And if you remember that box that was honeybound, I'm hoping and praying maybe they did some mitigation themselves, and hopefully they moved some of the honey up, because that box was really heavy last week. It was about 100 pounds. So I'm hoping that I don't have to lift that 100-pound box, or hoping that it's not 100 pounds when I lift it, I should say. Okay, lots of propolis in here. It sealed up the hive nicely. It's been cloudy most of the day. Seems like the bees are a little bit aggravated that I'm here today. I'm probably gonna have to end up getting a ladder. The next time I add another box, I'm definitely going to need a ladder to see what's going on. All right. Let's see if this is heavy. See what's going on. Okay. All right. It's not extremely heavy, but it feels like they're building the comb out, and I'll pull a few out just to look, but for now I'm just going to keep going. I really want to get down to that deep box. Man, I'm hoping I don't have to lift that 100-pound box, because I'll need to see the box underneath it to see the other brood box. I'm really hoping they move some of that honey for me. Hoping they help me. Okay. This is really clockwise. I thought I had it. Let's see. There we go. They do such a good job propolizing in between. This one's heavy. I'm going to say we've got some good honey in here. I'm going to be out of frame for a minute because I don't want to turn, well, I guess I can remove want to squish any bees in the bottom, but I do have this. I can just take this out. Here we go. I have this, it's in, I didn't want to spill it. That's the beetle trap, the small hive beetle trap. So if you remember last week, I took out, well, I said I was going to try to figure out why they're so honeybound, and I believe I figured it out. It seems some bees are bougie, and they don't like queen excluders. They don't like to go above the queen excluders to do the work to build out the honey super frames and fill them up. And I guess my bees are that type, unfortunately. I like having a queen excluder so that I can ensure the queen doesn't come up in the supers and lay, which that can happen. But they really propolize this. Really sticky together. Alright, so they're building this out with honey. I can feel it. It's heavy. Yeah, I knew it. Gorgeous. Gonna have a great extraction this year. So that's all capped honey. All that white is capped honey, and the rest of it is nectar that they're going to cap. And they've started building out this frame and started back and filling with honey. So that's a really good sign. Really good sign. Not expecting to see the queen up here, since this is just honey. Not to say she couldn't come up here and get some honey, but generally she'll find honey on the brood frames. And this frame is falling apart. I'm gonna have to double nail these frames together. I've had, what, 3 of them this year already that have fallen apart. I gotta be careful, because it can make a mess like it did last week when that deep frame fell apart. It was really messy. And again, reminding myself, I'm not doing a full hive inspection, but I just want to see, do they have more room to put honey? And if they don't, I have to add another super box, because I can't let them get honey bound and then start laying in the bottom frames. Oh, there's a lot of brood up here. Okay, this is the deep box, so that makes sense. So yeah, I moved some of these frames over here last week. This is how the brood box should be. So if you remember, I took some of the frames out and added new frames. So they've already capped that brood. So it's been a week. Same thing over here. This is a really good frame. So they have moved some of the honey around. This is a really good frame. So this is a frame that the queen might be on, because there's lots of brood, and I see that there's lots of nurse bees that are taking care of the brood, feeding the brood, and there's some capped honey. So this would be a good frame to possibly see the queen. And again, this is going to be so hard. I really don't want to do a full inspection. I just want to, but I would love to see the queen, because I've got to determine, am I splitting this hive or am I adding a new box to this hive? As a beekeeper, you got to make a lot of last minute decisions. And I am so far not seeing the frame, but this is a beautiful frame. This is just how the brood should be. I'm hoping they moved a lot of honey around, and maybe I can move this box. Maybe it's not 100 pounds, and I can move it down below, because brood is heavy, but it's not as heavy as the honey. Okay, they're doing great. I'm so proud of them. This frame looks the same. Lots of brood. They've moved the honey around. Oh, thank you, bees. All right. It's still pretty heavy, but you know, it still has a lot of honey, but they definitely moved some stuff around. They did some house cleaning, which makes my job easier and less stressful. And I don't stay up all night worrying about my bees. Now this one feels honey bound. It's pretty heavy. Oh, so yeah, lots of pollen, lots of honey. So I'm gonna put this frame. There's a little bit of brood in here. But it's probably, I can see some of it's already starting. I can see bees chewing their way through the top of the brood. Haven't chewed yet, but I'm gonna put this frame on the outside, like outside inside, but not all the way outside, because this is gonna be all honey and nectar soon. Hopefully they continue moving some of this honey around, but I want to keep the brood in the center. So there's a little bit, most of it is hatched though. I'm going to set this over here. out of my way. And this is the main focus of my hive inspection, this particular box. You know, I want to see the other frames too, but this is really what I want to figure out. Like, are they helping me? Are we, teamwork makes the dream work, working together? Gosh, this is so heavy. This frame is falling apart. Okay, I'm gonna leave it for a minute. And they're moving some stuff around for me, so really good sign. I suspect they moved some of the honey up there since that new box, or since that box is heavier this week, and haven't looked in yet, but it seems to be filled with honey, or getting filled, I should say. All right, so let's see what we got. Okay, those are all loose, so I can see a little bit of brood on this frame. Mostly a lot of nectar. Not seeing the queen just yet. I am seeing some practice pups on the bottom. No queen cells, but see those little round, those are practice cups. Looks like a round bead. That's a practice cup right there. So I'm just gonna knock that down. That's great. They know how to make cups if they ever need it, if they ever need to make a queen, but I don't want them, you know. There's no royal jelly in there, so that's good. It's just a practice cup, so I'm just going to smash those down. So I don't like when I see those little cups. It makes me nervous that there might be a queen problem. There might be a swarming problem, but swarm cells are generally in the middle of the frame. That would be a queen cup on the bottom. And none of them are filled with royal jelly, so that's a really good sign. I'm going to move this over here since it has some brood on it. And they're irritated with me. It's a little cloudy today. They don't like when it's cloudy. One's buzzing my head. I think my smoker may have went out. Wasn't pumping it enough. Wasn't giving it enough air. Let's just relight that. Yeah, a lot of overcast today. These don't like overcast. They get a little irritated. So do I, so I get it. Okay, let's see what else. This one looks to be honey bound. Honey nectar bound. No brood on this one. No swarm cells. Wait a minute. No. Okay. Same thing here. Very little brood. So I'm going to keep these together, these frames. So I'm going to put them back in there. I put them in correctly. Okay. Lots of brood here. So I'm going to move this to the center since they have a lot of queen cups. They're really practicing. Gosh, I would love to see the queen. They're not filled with royal jelly. They're not charged though. The cells aren't charged. They're just queen cups. So, makes me feel a little better. There's a little bit of brood on here, not much. I'm not smashing all the queen cups just yet. I want to see my queen and make sure she's here. I really am hoping I can find her cooking now. I spent a lot of time in here because this, again, it's supposed to be a mini hive inspection. I'm trying to get it in the light so I can see. And so far, oh, I just found the queen. Beautiful. Okay, so she's here. She's got that big brown, dark brown dot on the back of her thorax. She's right here, right below my thumb. Moving around. She's a beautiful brown queen. So that's good. Yeah, she's only like a year old. She's from last year, so she should be a good queen. I love her brood pattern, so I don't think they're replacing her. But what I might do is maybe if I have one of those other frames with the queen cups and then I knock these down, I might give it to the other bees if I start another super, because since they already have a queen cup, maybe they can continue building it out, less energy they have to burn, and then they can feed it and start another queen in that other hive. So this one, since the queen is on it, I'm going to keep this one, knock all the queen cups down and give this one back. So I love that I found my queen. I'm really hoping maybe while this is light and not now that it's not honey bomb and it's a lot of brood, I'm going to move it back down below that other super because it's so heavy. I don't want them to fill it up again and then I have to lift it again and it's 100 pounds. So while I have it apart and it's not too heavy, this is all, I hope they move this honey up there. This is all capped honey. I'm going to be spending honey really soon. As soon as they cap the lower quarter of this frame. Same thing over here. It's all nectar. As soon as they fan that and dry it and cap it, I'm going to be moving this. I'm going to be harvesting. I'm going to be harvesting honey. So no brood on this frame. So I'm going to keep this on the outside. In fact, since it's all honey bound, I'm going to move it to this end over here because I'm going to end up putting the brood. It's really heavy. This is probably 15 or more pounds. Really heavy. Okay. So I'm going to keep that on the outside. This is that frame that's breaking apart. I got to try to mend that back up. If it was capped honey, I could take it inside and put it in the freezer, but it's not. And there's brood on it, so I don't want to be taking this frame. So I'm going to try to put it back together. And for now, I'm going to set it down here so I know it's a special frame that needs some attention. All right, so I've got honey on the outside here, honey on the outside here. And I'm really happy with these bees. They've done a good job moving the honey around. So super happy about that. This was the frame the queen is on. I've lost track of her. I just like to see her one more time before I... There's a drone, a bigger male bee. Don't see a lot of those in here, which is good. That's where the varroa mites, if you get varroa mites, they tend to hide in the drone cells. Where'd that queen go? So many bees. Oh, there she is. She's in the corner down here. All right, so I'm happy that I found her. And I want to carefully put this frame in there so I don't squish her. So I'm going to wait till she moves a little bit. There we go. She's a beauty. She is a beauty. Okay, so putting that back in there. So I'm happy. And I'm going to lift this box up, get that super, and move it on top. Real quick, because I don't want the queen moving around on me or lose track of her. This is going to be heavy because it's filled with honey, but I've only got 3 frames, so it won't be as heavy. And I'm just going to carefully move this, slowly, carefully, so I don't squish the queen. The frames are moving around because I only have 3 frames in here, so I gotta be really super careful. Okay, I'm going to move this up. I'm hoping they filled this with honey, but there's a possibility. Could be brood but that's okay. I'm still gonna move this frame up. And I'm just going to pick at a couple of these frames just to make sure. Smoker. Ah! I squished a bee. Got stung again. The second time I've done that. I did it last week. She was there. I didn't see her and I bent my arm and squished her and scared her and stung myself. So you can get stung through your suit. They normally don't, but if you squish a bee against yourself, that can happen. So now I have a sting. There. This is really propolised. Please let this be mostly brood. It's getting sticky with all the honey and the propolis, so it's really sticking together. Just gotta get one of these frames out of here. There we go, so I don't roll bees. So there, this is the box. They're filling this out still. I gave them some frames last week. Set this over here. I'm not pulling every frame out. I just want to know they are not liking me being here with all this cloudy day. There is a little bit of wonky comb in here, but I don't have time to worry about that today. I'm going to deal with that next week when I do my full hive inspection. The main thing is I just want to get in here and, yeah, this is that wonky frame. I need to wax better. Oh, they built some drone cells. This is a good, I'm going to take these off. I got a queen cup. That's stung pretty good. These are all drone cells. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't need all these. I think that's enough drone cells. I'm going to inspect those and just make sure there's no varroa in there. I haven't had an issue with varroa, but I just want to make sure. I like to check. No major issues with varroa. So, alright, I'm going to move this here. It's going to go back in there. Give me a little bit of smoke. Really hoping a lot of this is brood. So I'm going to take out probably 3 more frames. Just really hoping this is all brood, or mostly brood. Yeah, they are not happy. Yeah, good. Okay, so it's going to say brood. Me giving that super box really helped change the dynamics of this box, this deep box. So that's good. This one looks, you can see I've got some honey on here. That's pretty heavy. So that's a good resource frame. Lots of nectar. Oh. The queen's up there, so I think I'm gonna keep this. If the queen was down here, I would probably, they're angry at me, see them? If the queen was up here, I would probably, so this is a frame they need to build out. I'm gonna put this resource frame on the back, but if the queen was not up in the top box and she was down here, I would move this frame up so she had more room to lay. But since she's in that other top box, she's already moved up there, I'm gonna keep this frame here full of honey as a resource on the outside. And if they don't like it, they'll move it. These are smart. They're always rearranging and organizing as the brood develops. They move things around. They're very good about that. So lots of brood here. And again, I just want to keep this brood in the center. There's a lot of bees here. I feel like I can do this split. And since I know the queen's up there, I think I'm going to do this split and shake some bees in that other box that I just brought over today. Because that super box isn't filled up yet. And I've got more supers in the basement that I need to wax next week. So that's what I'm going to do. I've made the decision, folks. This is all resource. This is all, man, they're doing great. These bees are amazing, amazing, amazing. So that's a resource. That's a frame they need to build out. This is brood. And this is a mixture brood and, well, this is that frame last week that was all jacked up. They fixed it. It looks really nice where the comb was exposed. So interesting. Okay. I am going to give them a little bit of smoke. And I just want to see, so this is a frame that has brood on it, perfect larva. So the queen's been all over. She was down here laying recently. She just moved up, which is really strange because there's still a lot of room there. I'm surprised she did move up. All right, let me go ahead and check these last 2 frames because I just want to make sure the brood is all in the center. Because, you know, it's hatching and, yeah. Lots of pollen. They're bringing in lots of pollen. Last frame here. Let's see what's going on. They are very angry at me. You see them swarming around me? Okay, get out of the way. Excuse me. Okay. They're probably going to follow me in the house today. When it's like this and it's... Alright, so that's brood. So I'm glad I checked that last frame. I'm going to put this in the center. Almost switch to bee. This frame is shelter. This frame is a resource, so I'm moving it to the outside. And I'm putting this brood here. And then I am putting other brood here. That's honey. That's brood. That's going in the top frame. That frame needs to be fixed. They're not extremely happy about these frames because they're not waxed well, but there's brood on them, so I'm going to put those back in here and put them in the center. Hopefully they'll continue building out that other side that's not completely built out, and then I have to squeeze this other frame in here. And they need to continue building this frame out. Okay, I'm pretty happy. Way happier than I was last week. Last week I was like, oh crap, this is the first time I've seen honeybound. I don't know what to do. I'm a new beekeeper. I've only been doing this for 2 years. But I figured it out. I did a good job. I did it right. Love when that happens. Okay. Smoker's going out. But that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to get this other deep box where the queen's on. And I sure would like to see her before I put that box together. Just so I know where she's at and I don't squish her. Okay? So I'm trying to be very careful because there's a lot of nectar in here and I don't want it dripping all over them. Okay. Just gonna brush them out of the way. Put this back. I'm so glad I get to put this deep box back on here. Alright. So I'm gonna see if I can see that queen again because I really want her. I want to know where she's at so I don't squish her when I put it back, the box back together. It's so important to know where your queen is. She was on this frame. I see a squished bee. That doesn't make me happy. Especially knowing it could be the queen. But what are the chances? One in, how many bees do I have? 8,000? But 1 in 8,000 it could happen. There is a squished bee here. But I'm hoping it's I'm sorry about that bee. I'll put that there because I need to inspect it later more. Oh. Fly away? I'm so squished. Okay. Not seeing the bee or the queen. There she is. I see her. Yay! Love that. I love that for me. Alright, so I see the queen. You guys already saw her. You don't need to see her again. I'm putting this hive back together. Yay. I wish I had some more deep frames to switch out to give the queen more room to lay. She does have some room up there. And I'm going to put this other super on top so she needs to lay there. Plus there's a lot of brood that's hatching that once the brood hatches, she relays in those cells. So she just keeps going all over the frames looking for cells to lay in. So we know the queen's down there, so I'm just going to continue putting these in here. This frame needs to be built out. It does have capped honey on it, so I'm going to make this a resource frame and put it on the end. Let's see. That's a resource frame. Okay. Put it right here. Alright. And then I want brood in the center. Oh, hot day, folks. That frame I have to fix. This is a mixture of brood and honey. No, that was a honey resource. No brood, so I'm putting that on the outside. I'm hoping they move all that up. Hey bees, let's have you get out of the way here. I'll squish you. Okay. And this A little bit of brood on here. Yeah, there's a lot of brood on there. So I'm going to put that. I'm going to turn this around this way. Heavy, so I'm just going to walk around. Because they need to finish that side. Really happy. I am really happy. Lots of honey, but not honey bound. There is room for the queen to lay, and that's what's important. So I'm gonna screw all these frames out so I don't roll any bees, because we know the queen's in here. All right, this is the frame I need to fix. I'm hoping I can fix this. I don't know why they're all hanging out where I need to fix. My smoker is not lit anymore. Come on, girls. Get out of my way. It's like they knew I was going to come here and work. Oh. I know, girl. Oh, not the squish bees. I should put a little hammer in my box, my little toolkit, so that if I need to repair a frame, I can quickly do it. All right, I'm going to grab a brick. I can't hang that because it's going to fall apart. Right here's a brick. I'll grab a brick and try to smash this down without crushing any bees. All right, that's going to work, I think. I'm thinking these deep frames that are heavier, maybe I need to double nail them in case they honeybound these frames again. Alright, so that's that. I just want to make sure there's room in here so I don't roll any bees, squeezing the frames apart. That may come undone again, but for now, it's fine. I need more room. They built the honey out so much. That there's not enough room to squeeze it in there. I might have to move the frame that. That's fine. Okay. I think that will work. I don't want to scrape the honey. And that's what's happening. They built it out so far. Because I don't want them. You know, I don't want to mess up their work, number one. Number two, I don't want honey dripping all over the place and them drowning in it. Alright. This frame definitely needs another nail. I'm hoping I can wait until next inspection though. This is a quick frame. I don't like this. It's scraping the honey, so I don't want to continue the course. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on this side that they haven't built the honey out so thick. So that'll work. Okay, much better. Much better. Still tight, but it's way better. Okay. Yikes! That frame is going to need to be fixed next week, but for now, I don't have another deep frame with me. I only have super frames extra. I've used all my deep frames. I'm just going to fix the space in here to get the frames all tight so they don't continue building out. That's an important thing. Sometimes you're going fast in an inspection, but if you keep these frames tight together, you won't have to worry about them building the honey out. So obviously I didn't have a frame tight, and that's why they built the honey thicker than the frame is. There we go. Now they're nice and tight. All right, I'm gonna light my smoker because I want to smoke these bees off and get the rest of these boxes back on, get this together. This took longer than I anticipated, but I'm happy. Today was a good day for beekeeping. Good day for beekeeping. All right, let's get this smoker going again. These bees are so aggravated. Their hum is so loud and beautiful. I love it. It's an angry buzz, but it's still beautiful. Sounds nice. Makes me happy. So there's some honey in between the frames. They're all getting a bite of honey. It's beautiful. I love it. Love that for them. Smoking the bees off the edge because I don't want to squish them when I put this other box on. So glad that box didn't weigh 100 pounds. They moved the honey around for me. Made my day. I was really worried about what I was going to find. I want the heaviest. Maybe I should put this new box that they haven't really done much with. Oh, they're already back on the edge. I took too long. Just make sure this is, yeah, they haven't really started building comb out too much on this, but let me smoke them again because they're on the edge again. I don't want to squish bees. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put this box. I'm going to come this way. Come on, girls. I do not want to squish you. Okay. Alright, so this box, I want them to start building out. I'm almost tempted to put the super on, but I know they won't go above it, so I want the super on because I don't want them laying in the honey. I don't want the queen laying in the honey, but I'm not going to put the super on because as soon as I put, or the queen excluder rather, sorry. As soon as I put the queen excluder on, they are going to figure out which frames I'm taking for this other one. I think I'm going to take this one. This one looks good. It has a lot of bees on it. I'm going to take this one. We know the queen's not up there. I'm going to give this one back to them. Okay. Alright. And give them back their small hive beetle trap. I'm going to put this other super. I do need some brood, so I'm hoping when I go in this other box that there's brood. If not, because I need brood to have them start a queen. I don't think there's brood in here. I got to check. And if not, I have to put this. If I don't find brood on a supercell, frame, then I have to put that frame back on this box. But my hope is, because I have another super frame over here that's empty, that I'm going to start a second hive. But I need to find at least a frame of. I've got resources here. I need to find a frame of brood so they can make a queen. I'm going to put this small hive beetle trap back in here. No small hive beetles I don't see, so that's good. And take my own advice and move all these frames together so they don't build the honey out. Because when I come back in here, the smoke is getting to me. Next week, I'm expecting them to build this frame out, this box out, and I'm expecting them to start filling with honey. So I'm going to leave this open for now because just in case I don't find any brood in this box that I can steal, all their brood is in these boxes down here. I have a feeling I'm not going to find brood in the super. I was really hoping I would, since we were honeybound last week and I gave them the super on the bottom. I was really hoping the queen had laid in there. And you know, she might. Maybe I should put this box over here and check. Ugh. Let me do that because it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. I'm going to check this one real quick. This colony's not as strong. And if there's brood, I'm going to turn the camera to this other one. If there's brood in this frame, that is going to make my day and my life a lot easier. So I'm going to give them a little smoke and hope that I can find some brood. And that way, they're just ready to go. All right, let's see what we have. I didn't have any more deep frames, so I just used the super on the bottom of this frame and using that for a brood box, which is totally fine. So they built this frame out. That's really good. I'm just gonna put them up here. Hoping the queen laid up here. I'm really hoping that there is a significant amount of brood so they can make a queen, because those, so this is all just built out comb, which is beautiful, ready for honey or brood. They're really congregating, and I'm trying not to squish them. Okay, girls. There we go. Go down. This frame looks like it might. It's a lot of honey. It's nectar. Dang it. Okay, well, it's all nectar. So I'm going to set this here for now, so it's out of the way. If there's no brood, I got to give this frame, this box back. I can't make a split until there's brood on one of these super frames. The other option is I could, there's two deeps there. If they fill both of those out, I could take, oh, there's larvae in here. Beautiful. Okay. Larva. It's fresh laid. So me giving the box to the queen last week, the super, even though it's not a deep, was a great decision on my part. And I'm going to take note of that, because this is filled with lots of larvae. It's going to take a few days for that larva to turn into pupae and for them to start making a queen cell. But they have larvae to make a queen cell. So that's the good news. You just need larvae. So I'm going to keep this in the center of the box. And I do want to see what else is going on in here. Moving these bees, try not to squish them. Let me smoke them down. Oh, so this is good. I don't have to steal from the other hive, which the other hive is not real strong, so I really didn't want to steal from that hive. So I don't feel they're strong enough, and I would have made that decision when I went in there. But let's see if there's any more brood, and if there is, I'm going to move it to the center. So they haven't built this frame out yet, but they're starting it. It's a resource frame. So I'm going to turn this around so they can build the rest of this frame out. So you can see they have lots of, it's supposed to be a mini hive inspection. I better speed it up. They have lots of, there's different color pollen in there. They're starting to back for this. So they're probably going to fill this with honey. So I'm going to keep this on the outside, but I'm going to turn it around because they need to build this side of the frame out. It's empty. Okay. And these are frames that are just built out. So I'm going to put these back in here. And then I want to see, as long as there's no more brood, I don't know why they're congregating on this side so much. I wonder if I spilled some honey. If they're really congregating right there. I don't know what they're congregating about. I think they're talking about me. All right. That's all right. They know I love them. They can feel my energy. All right, so I've got that brood. I'm just making sure there's not another brood frame, which I don't think there is. I think that's the only one so far. So I just want to have all the brood in the center, and then the honey or resource frames, pollen. They are loving that corner. Must have spilled. This one's got her tongue out. She must have been eating some honey. It's so funny how long their tongues are. Okay, so this frame needs to be built out, and it looks like this frame also needs to be built out. Whew, it is hot today. At least it's not that 100-degree weather we had a while back. So this frame needs to be built out. So the frames that need to be built out, I'm going to move them, checkerboard them, so that they can continue building them out. Same thing with this. Okay, so there's only one frame of brood, so high hopes that they build it out. High hopes. So I'm checkerboarding every other frame, a built out comb, checkerboarding it with a frame that needs to be built out. Here's a frame that they've already built out, and then I'm going to put a frame that needs to be built out. When you do that, it's like they're already there, so it encourages them. Oh, I'm already here. this other frame's built out. I'm building this out, so I'm going to continue building. It just makes it easy while they're working to turn around and finish working. So that's why I checkerboard the frames. And this is a frame that kind of started, and that needs to be built out. So, okay. Got a game plan. There's a lot of room for growth here. So the beauty is, once they fill these frames out, this girl's tongue is just like stuck out. I hope she's okay. The good thing is one of the bees will help her. She needs a drink of water or something. I've seen that. It's pretty cool. They help each other. They even clean off the honey off each other if they get honey on their legs or something. So, all right, where's the, how am I missing a frame? Oh, over here. Okay. This was a resource frame, so this should be on the outside. This was all honey. Okay. So I'm going to scooch that in. So I only have one frame of larva. It only takes one larva to make a queen. That's the good news. But usually I like to have a lot of larva. There's not a lot of larva, but that's okay. Being careful here not to roll bees. All right, that's all honey. So they have food, they have resources, they have larvae, they have everything they need to make a colony. And just from moving the bees from over there over here and doing this walk-away split, there's plenty of bees. So I'm happy with the amount of bees that are here. I want to smoke the bees because I don't want to squish them here. But I'm happy with the amount of bees. I feel like once they make their queen and she starts laying, life's going to be good for them. Okay? Because this is about the same amount of bees that I started the second colony with. So I am truly happy. This is beautiful. Now I have 3. I don't think this girl, I don't know. All right. So I am going to close this hive up. I'm happy with this. So hopefully in 16 days we come in here and have a queen. So next week I'll check to see. There's no queens. There's queen cups in here, but there's no queen cells. They're just eating all that honey that is spilt over. So I'm really happy with these girls. They will build a nice colony. Okay, so that's called a walk-away split. What I just did, I took frames from a good healthy hive and split them here, made sure that they had resources, honey, pollen, larva. There are 2 sides. There's only one frame of larva, but there's 2 sides, so that's really good news. There is definitely enough larva for them to make a queen cell. So hopefully when I get in here next week, I see a queen cell. Hopefully it has royal jelly in it and it's charged with the larva. And then 16 days from now, I hope to have a queen. So really great news. Really happy with this hive. I'm going to quickly turn my camera back to the other 2 hives. And I'm going to do a quick little mini hive inspection on this one. So I can cap this hive now. I can close this up because we know the queen's in here. I did my walk-away split. I have the small hive beetle trap back in here. And trying not to squish bees. Good job! Super happy. Today is a good day. I cannot believe how much capped honey is in there. You know, you just need 2 frames of honey to spend, but I'm thinking, I don't know, in another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that I will have probably a full super at least to spin and to extract honey. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Definitely enough bees in here. The big thing is you want to make sure there's enough nurse bees to nurse the brood that's in there, which there is. This is about the same size bees that I started off this hive with. My smoker is having a time today, having a time. Which is fine. I don't need to do a lot in here. This hive was looking pretty good last week. So I'm just going to look at a couple frames just to make sure. Remember we found the queen in here last week. I don't need to see her. I know she's here if I see eggs and larvae. Because I'm not doing a walk-away split, I don't need to see her. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take this super box off. It's not that heavy. They started building out the frames. I can see they've built out some of the frames, but they haven't really backfilled it with nectar yet. I have this feeder in here, and I'm just curious if they've been eating it. They have. That's why they filled the frames out. So this is empty, but I'm not going to take it out. I'm going to leave it in here because I don't want them to start building wonky comb. But next time I come, I'm going to have 2 deep frames with me so I can put them in here in place of this to give the queen more room to lay. But for now, I'm not concerned because there's still a lot of room in here for the queen to lay. I can see that. Okay, they're still building out. This is the box I gave them last week that I waxed, and I can see I missed waxing one side of the frame. I didn't wax it at all. They don't like that, and they're going to end up building wonky comb. But I don't have a choice. I have to leave this in here because I don't have another deep frame. So I'm putting it on the edge, and hopefully I remember that I need to wax that frame. And they're building wonky comb on this, which I knew that last week because it's not waxed well to their liking, your highness's liking. Okay, so this is honey. As long as there's no wax, I'm going to move this on the outside. It's really, oh, there is not wax, but super. So lots of eggs and larvae here, and an extreme amount of honey. So this needs to stay in the center because there is a lot of brood. So the queen is doing wonderful. The new queen that emerged from this hive is doing great. I'm hoping I can find some frames that I can checkerboard. It's kind of turning into a mini extra hive inspection, but with swarm season upon us, it is what it is. I've got these frames, they're building out the comb, so that's good. So because they built this comb out, I'm going to put this in between the frames they didn't build out. And you know what's going to happen. The queen's going to start laying in there, and I'll move them around next week. When she runs out of room, she'll lay in those. Okay. And yeah, some of these frames just aren't waxed great, and they're letting me know they don't like it. They're like, you need to do a better job to slow down, mama. Okay. Very heavy frame, lots of brood. So, no swarm cells. I don't know where the queen is. I'm not concerned because I see larvae, so I know she's here. So we're all good. Keeping this in the center. And let me see what this is. This is nectar. They're filling this with honey. I am going to keep this where it was. I've got the small hive beetle trap there too. And again, I don't know where the queen is, but I'm okay. I don't need to go in that bottom box. I can see up here there's plenty of room for the queen to lay. If she wants to, she can lay in the super because I'm not going to put the queen excluder on. I don't know. I've got to get used to not using queen excluders apparently because they don't like them. They don't want to go past the queen excluder even though they can fit through the queen excluder. They don't want to. Okay. So I'm going to put this feeder back in here though. Keep room for that. So I'm not really concerned. Whatever, I mean, even if the bottom is honey bound, there's enough room for the queen to lay here. So next week I'll get in there and I'll find out what's really going on. I'll do a full hive inspection and I'll check the bottom box. But this is a mini hive inspection. So we're good on that. I'm just going to put this back together. I do want to look at a couple of these frames just so I understand what's going on. I see they've started building out the comb. They always go where I'm going to go. It's funny. It's like when your kids are little and they're always stepping on your toes. Right behind you, like your shadow. Like my cousin Tanya, she was everybody called her my shadow because she was always right on my toes, right on my heels, right behind me. I loved it. She was my sweet little cousin who I loved and adored. Alright. My shadow. So this comb is built out. So the queen has room to lay. If she wants to come up here and lay, so be it. I'm not going to fight her on it. I got bigger fish to fry. And I solved the problem of the honeybound issue in the other one. So if the queen wants to lay in super, have at it. That's how I feel right now. Sometimes you just got to go with the flow. It may not be what you want, but it's fine. All right, so lots of room. Most of these frames are built out. In fact, I'm going to checkerboard some of them so they build out these frames that need to be built out. So I've got a frame that's built out with comb, a frame that needs to be built out, and then a frame that's built out, and that needs to be built out. All right, I've got a good checkerboarding going here. And then this last frame is built out, so I'm gonna put that in there. Queen has all kinds of space. I'm not concerned, I'm not concerned about a swarm. These look great. I would love to see what they're doing down there just because I'm nosy. I don't need to. Not until next week, Friday. I do want to straighten this out because it seems like they propolized it crooked. There we go, moved a little bit. All right, all in all, I am happy. I'm a happy beekeeper. I brought some extra frames. I don't know. I brought the queen excluders because I just want to use the queen excluders so bad, but someone stopped me and told me, don't use queen excluders because that's just going to make them honeybound just like last week, and I never want to deal with that again. That was a lot. 100-pound box of honey in a deep frame, in a deep box that's supposed to be brewed. Not fun. Not fun. So just want to straighten these out so there's no gaps. See, they're already coming in behind me and making propolis because they're like, you didn't put our box on straight, so now we got to do all this work. There we go. I don't want them to have to work so hard. I can close up the gap for them. I want to squish you, girl. Close up the gaps for them to make their lives easier so they don't have to fill it with propolis. Okay. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Folks, it indeed has been a great day at Mendez Farms. The sun has come out. The overcast is clearing up. I'm going to go inside and shower and go enjoy the weekend. So it's a great day at Mendez Farms. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you tuning in.